Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to a new series, Irish Whiskies Challenges, involving proper number 12 versus all the other Irish whiskeys that I own. So this is proper number 12, triple distilled Irish whiskey, introduced way back in 2018. Come on, focus, you stinking rotten camera. Logitech, they're affordable cameras. All right. Anyway, being difficult. All right. Brian Carpenter says cheers. Cheers back to you. Okay, so real cork, aged 4 years in ex-bourbon barrels. Don't know whose bourbon. Probably never will know. And it might change, it could just be whose bourbon barrels are available at the time. Assuming that they're all, standardized, like a certain char level, that kind of thing may not matter. Green bottle protects it from the light. Introduced in 2018 with a celebrity, it's like a celebrity-oriented whiskey. But in 2024, the parent company disassociated themselves with the celebrity that formerly endorsed the whiskey due to personal problem, legal issues with the person. All right, but Era born, that's the Gaelic word for Ireland, Era, land, Ireland, Era born. Rumor has it that it originally was produced in Northern Ireland, but now it's produced somewhere in Ireland, and it's sourced for Proximo Spirits, the owners. And Proximo Spirits is another word for Jose Cuervo Tequila Company. It's just the umbrella. It's an umbrella company that Jose Cuervo created to control all the liquor brands that they own. They might even have some wine and beer brands, I think. Okay, there's Jameson, the most famous Irish whiskey in the world. Established in 1780. They always show the sailing ships. This is also triple distilled, and it's also aged 4 years. And it is produced by a company called Irish Distillers Company, Irish Distillers, and they produce many whiskeys. But this one is aged. It doesn't say it on the bottle, so technically there's no age statement. But if you look at the website, it says aged 4 years. Jeff Pub of Lions. Ironic, really. I picked up a Jameson triple today. The new triple. I've heard of that for one of my very rare alcohol occasions. Okay, Jeff. Brian Carpenter says, you have doers here. Oh, yeah, well, we're going to get the Scotch when we finish Ireland. We got to go from one country to the next. United States, then Canada, then Ireland, then Scotland. Okay, so, well, they're both very similar. They're both pale straw gold. Okay, straw gold, not pale straw. I have a strong suspicion that proper number 12 is produced by the same distillery, Middleton Distillery, which is a huge Irish whiskey distillery owned by Irish Distillers. I can't prove it, but I bet you it's not some little small craft distillery who would never be able to keep up with the huge demand. This proper number 12 is a very big brand. I mean, yeah, I know it was a celebrity whiskey, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I watched a lot of videos so far, got many more to go. And most of the people are positive. They're like, wow, I thought it was going to be like junk, But I mean, there are some negative videos, but mostly it's very positive, I have to admit. And I was very positive. When you see the review, you'll see I was very positive. Here's Jameson Irish whiskey. Look what it says. Oak cask, 4 years. Pot stilling fine grain whiskey. So it's probably 80% grain whiskey, which means like, corn, probably corn spirits, which is aged for about 3 years, or 4, in this case 4. And then they blend it with pot still. malted barley, malt whiskey, as you would call it. Um, the flavor, really, the grain alcohol is not going to give it too much flavor, but they distill it, and then they distill the distillate. That was a distillate of the original distillate, which is supposed to twice as smooth. See, um, and then they give some tasting notes. Is Jameson a Scotch or a bourbon? Question and answer. It's neither. It's an Irish whiskey, although they do have one aged barrels. That's the black barrel. Like it says, black barrel. So there it is, the popular Irish whiskey. And that girl's got a big pour on her. Look at that. A lot of whiskey in that glass. She's about to go buck wild. There's proper number 12. They got a big ice ball. Minimum of 4 years in the finest, naturally, of course, charred ex-bourbon barrels. And then there's the proper number 12, which I see it everywhere. Okay, so there we go. Jameson seems very sweet to me. Oh, it does? Well, to me, most whiskey tastes like sugar water. I find every whiskey sweet to me. But anyway, let's get going. And I'm sure you heard the big news from the last 5 hours. And President Trump said, it's a secret plan, but we're revealing it now, like it's been a secret plan. I predicted this a month ago. I can't take credit. I can't prove that I predicted it, but I was telling everybody at work, and I might have told a couple of people on the phone. A month ago, I predicted this news story. King Charles III says he's going to invite the United States to rejoin the British Commonwealth, formerly the British Empire. And President Trump said, I love King Charles. The answer is yes. So he talked to the British Prime Minister and he says, we want to join, or I should say rejoin, as an associate member, which would mean that, according to the articles, the United States would still have a president, but they would recognize King Charles as the head of the Commonwealth, and then they would not have ambassadors anymore. There would be no more ambassadors. There would be a high commissioner between the two countries because they would be under the same umbrella. And that's going to be a news story that's going to cause controversy, I'm sure. But you see, that was the whole thing about the tariff issue, pushing the tariffs. I said this a month ago, 1 month ago. I told people, I said, you see this whole tariff thing? I said, he's in a plot to get the United States to join the British Commonwealth. And people at work said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm telling you right now. And then there would be no tariffs, you see, because then there would be one big trading unit, United States, Great Britain, Canada, Jamaica, and all this. I said, you'll see. I said, watch. This guy is always one step ahead of everybody. He's like thinking out the box. He does off script stuff. And then the article said that it said, well, even though United States unilaterally, that means on its own, declared independence from Great Britain in 1976. Well, I'm sorry, 1776. That would not prevent them from rejoining. And I said, oh, maybe I have better prediction skills than I had first believed. So you ask me, I say, yeah, why not join? What the heck? I was glad to read the article because I was like, yep, I told y'all a month ago, I fooled some Jameson drinkers with proper 12. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen here. I think this could be very similar. And they're from Ireland. I don't think Ireland's going to rejoin the British Commonwealth, which they very disrespectfully quit in 1949. But maybe they'll rejoin anyway. Okay. Hi, Ron. What does the grain component of the whiskey add to the flavor? Says KS. I'm hiding my crystal ball. I know. I broke it. I used to have a crystal apple, but it broke. I have a golden apple. And that's what I use to find out these secrets. And Trump said it was a big secret. A secret plan. What did he call it today? A secret plan, and it's been revealed, and now it can be revealed. The grain component does not really provide any flavor. The grain component provides the body, the base. And that's the same for an American blended whiskey, Canadian blended whiskey, Irish, or Scotch blended whiskey. They make about 80% grain alcohol. Like, you take corn and you distill it, you make a wort, a beer, and then you distill it into a clear, odorless, colorless liquid. If you want to call it a vodka, okay. But then you don't sell it. A vodka would be immediately bottled and sold. Vodka can never touch wood. But then you take that. Now in America, you could take that clear distillate and you could blend it with single malt whiskey, or straight bourbon, and then you could have what they call an American blended whiskey. Now in Canada, Ireland, and the United Kingdom, meaning Scotland, basically, or Northern Ireland, you would have to age even the clear liquid, the grain distillate, you would have to age that in wood oak barrels for at least 3 years. Canada, Ireland, United Kingdom. But in the United States, you could take the raw distillate and blend it with no less than 20% straight whiskey. Does it make a big difference, the raw versus the aged? People claim it does, but get about 5 American blended whiskeys, 5 Canadian, 5 Irish, and 5 Scotch. Taste them all with an open mind, and you're going to probably find that they're much more similar than different. You'd be like, well, that's not really that different. So the U.S. government decided that it didn't matter to age it, the 80%. But the other countries say, no, you got to age it. Okay. John Mallory says, burp. Cheers, Jay. Cheers to you. Must be why I noticed the single malt whiskey has a lighter mouthfeel, at least in my experience. Now, the single malt has no grain alcohol in it. It's all malted barley whiskey from a single distillery. Malted barley. Not all the same whiskeys now, but it's all from the same distillery, single malt. Some people like that. Other people do not like it. Most people don't care either way, But that's the difference between blended and the single malt. All right, now time for the taste. Cheers. Any predictions? I think it's going to be very close because they are very similar. Very similar. Price, very similar. I saw Jameson today for $23.99 on sale. And I saw Proper 12 for $26.99, not on sale. So $3. But they could cross over. Like you might find Proper number 12 cheaper one day, or Jameson cheaper another day, something like that. They're not going to always be, but they vary in price. John Mallory says, cheers, mug of beer. All right, cheers to you. Here we go. And of course, I'm doing Jameson first because it's the original, most famous. Bushmills is, well, not really older. We'll get into that story. Depends on how old it is. Yeah, these are younger aged, but very popular. Yeah, it smells like bread, like liquid alcohol bread, very much white bread, which I like white bread. Any charred oak? Absolutely not. Any charcoal, any smoke or anything like that? No. Just bread. Okay, over here. Do you think you could distinguish between an Irish whiskey and a blended Scotch taste-wise? Possibly. It seems they would be extremely close. I agree with that, unless the blended Scotch was using a high percentage of Islay, which is very smoky. So that might give it away, you see. because those tend to be really a Scotch only thing. So like a Highland Mist, if you got Highland Mist, which uses 4 different single malts, you know, the Highland, the Lowland, the Isla, and the Speyside, so that you know that 5%, just that 5% of the whole volume of smoky whiskey could tip you off. It'd be tough, but I think that would give you a little, just a little tweak on intake. Oh, you say, oh, that's Scotch, but it wouldn't be much. Now, if you had Johnny Walker Red Label, you'd never confuse it because that one's very smoky. Johnny Walker Double Black would be impossible to confuse because it's even more smoky. So those I don't think. Now Dewar's, that could be a problem because it's not smoky. Okay, this smells, yes, a lot like the other one, bread, but maybe more corn, popcorn, but very close, very close. I would say based on appearance and aroma, just shop price, which means take your pick because they're about the same price most of the time. All right, taste time. Booyah to all, says Bobby. Booyah to you, Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Booey. Mama Monkey. So very smooth, bready. You get the grain, which is like, it starts tasting like breakfast cereal. You get the a little oak, a little vanilla, and they were talking about that honey and vanilla. I was showing you that on the Jameson website to talk about that. Yeah, so this could very well be Jameson, but I remember I remember, and I only tried proper number 12 once when I did the solo review, once in my life. But I remember a strong honey component, very honey. I don't know about clover honey, but teacher's Scotch. Yes, that's on my to buy list, Brian Carpenter. I have not tried it yet, but I will. I do plan to try teachers at some future point, and I know where to find it. So yeah, definitely on my to buy list. Okay. No, it doesn't taste the same. Are Irish whiskeys mandated to use only Irish source malt and grain? Says KS. I read the regulations and I don't recall seeing that. It just said whole grains, you know, not like a syrup, like corn syrup, but a whole grain corn. Could be grits, that's whole, just pulverized. No, the regulations I read said it has to be distilled and aged, distilled, blended, and aged in Ireland. Distilled, blended, and aged in Ireland. Didn't say bottled. So no, I don't think the grains have to be from Ireland. 3 old Crown Royals with a couple of cubes is old school drinking, that's for sure. Yeah, Crown Royal is a very famous Canadian blended whiskey, peaty. Yeah, these are not peaty at all. No peat. Forget peat. So this is very bread with a touch of honey and vanilla, but very bread, white bread. Like, I don't know what your favorite white bread is. Very white bread. Okay, over here. Much more honey oriented. And no, they can't add flavoring. Irish whiskey. They can add caramel color for the appearance, but no flavoring. I didn't read anything in Scottish or Irish blended whiskey say flavoring, say coloring. Now, Canada, United States, different story. If you read the regulations for Canadian blended and United States American blended, they are allowed to add coloring and flavoring. You say flavoring. Yeah, natural flavors. So it does have to be natural, can't be artificial. But I mean, that's like 1,001 options. Although there's a qualifying statement at the end of both of those countries' regulations, USA and Canada. It says, but the whiskey must have the aroma and flavor generally associated with American/Canadian whiskey. So You can add all the crazy flavorings you want, but comma, it must have the aroma and flavor generally associated with American/Canadian whiskey. And even with all the flavored ones I've tried, which is so many, they still do have the flavor and aroma generally associated with American or Canadian whiskey. That is true. Now, which one would I prefer? It's hard to say. Hard to say. But I think Ireland has its own moonshine called Poitin, usually distilled from oats. Really? Says KS. That's interesting. I don't know exactly. You switch to whole grain breads, Brian? You mean like Dave's bread? I think I would prefer the more bready white bread flavor than the honey. I like honey and I like white bread, so it's very close. But I think I just prefer the more bready. It tastes a little bit more traditional whiskey. I think this is the Jameson. We're about to find out right now. It is. It is. So I did get it right. It was scary, I was a little nervous, but I got it right. So I don't know if that's going to keep happening because I think Proper 12 is much more similar to all the rest than different. Tullamore DEW, Patties, what's another big one? Another big one. Bushmills, of course, everybody knows that one. Teeling, now I don't think it's too close to Teeling. Teeling is unique, so you're not going to confuse anything with Teeling, a small batch. Kavanaugh, or Two Gingers, or Doohans, or a couple of others I have around here. I can't keep up with all of them. I have a number, but I think they're all very similar. They're all very similar, and they're probably all coming from the same place. Middleton Distillery. I think Middleton Distillery does a lot of contract distilling, so it's kind of like Anheuser-Busch in the United States. You might drink a beer and say, "Oh, that kind of tastes like an Anheuser-Busch beer," but it's from this independent company over here. Yeah, it says canned in Nebraska. Yeah, canned in Nebraska. Yeah, you're right. It says canned in Nebraska. It might not even say that. It might be canned in St. Louis, because they do contract. Same thing with Miller. You say Foster's. That's Australian for beer. Who you think been making Foster's for the last 25 years? It's all coming from the Miller Brewery in Fort Worth, Texas, although that switched this past month to Houston, Texas, Anheuser-Busch. They brought it under their control, but they use Australian yeast, Australian hops, and the Foster's people say, "Yeah, do it like this," and they taste it. Yeah, that's good. That tastes pretty close. They don't even make a 4.9%. They don't even make a 5% Foster's anyway. If you go to Australia, they don't have a 5% Foster's. It's 4%. We get the strong one here. We get the 5% and the 5.5. The Foster's Premium Ale, 5.5. Now I think they used to make those in Australia, but that I don't think that's been the case for a long time. Okay, let's get this show on the road or off the road. Do I still make political and history videos? Yes, sometimes I do. Maybe I should make one about the United States plan. I said plot. Plan to rejoin the British Empire. I'm sorry, they call it the British Commonwealth today. They used to call it the Empire, but not since 1997 when Hong Kong was given to China, back to China. Now it's the Commonwealth. But it's not named Commonwealth in 1949, and they start phasing out Empire in the same year because it didn't sound so nice. Empire is like you control everybody. Commonwealth, we're all a big team, which is a big family of nations. It's all about how you frame it, right? So, yeah, that could be a good video, but I don't know what to say about it because Trump is just saying, President Trump is saying, oh, we're going to do it. It's going to happen. It's going to be this big historical thing. You can't believe it. And what did he say today? I love King Charles. Oh, man. Like I say, Jedi mind tricks, his Jedi mind tricks. Oh, Powers. Yeah, that's on my to buy list. Slain. I've tried it, but only a little 50 milliliter bottle. But I did love it. I thought it was very good. So I would buy a regular bottle. Yes, certainly. Captain Everything says, Happy Friday. Cheers. Cheers to you, Cap. Brian Carpenter says, Jay looks as young as he did 14 years ago. Must be the Louisiana humidity. Yes, it softens my skin. It's not dry here. It's humid. So there's a dry day today. Cheers, my boy. Barman, Florida, says Jay Grizzle. Florida. I've been to Florida many times. I heard something about the U.S. becoming a corporation in the 1870s and the city of London being a separate entity from the rest of the United Kingdom. Oh, yeah, I've been hearing that corporation business for so long. So I wouldn't pay much mind to that. Well, London is a city. It is part of the United Kingdom, but but the actual city of London is small. It's like the French Quarter in Louisiana. The actual city of London is like a neighborhood. It's very small. You could walk across it. And I don't even think I went to London. Well, did I go to the city of London when I went there 2 years ago? I went right by St. James Palace. St. James Palace. I didn't know what I was doing there. I didn't know what that was. Although the police were giving me a bad look. I kept looking into the building. They were having an event. They kept giving me a hard look. I said, let me start walking before something happens. But that might have been the city of London. I have to look at a map. But yeah, the rest of London is not actually part of London. It's just like the London metropolitan area. Their own like little towns with their own mayor or whatever. I'll be getting the opportunity to visit South Korea for 9 months soon. A free trip, I'm imagining. You have a separate channel for politics and history, right? No, I don't. No, I don't. All the playlists are here on this channel. Yes. So I think I'll give a slight edge to the old classic Jameson, but I would not discourage any of you guys or gals, any of you people from trying proper number 12. I know it's not associated any longer with that celebrity athlete and situation there, but still around, and probably will be around for many years because it's very popular. I don't know how many people buying this even care about the athlete celebrity involved in it. I'm thinking half the people buying it probably never heard of the person or know very little about it. But it's no longer associated with him anyway. It's detached. It's just an independent label. I would recommend it. I'm glad I bought it. Not glad I paid $26, but 27, whatever I paid. But yeah, I bought it. This one I got it. I think I paid 22. I think I paid $22.99, but I would still get the Jameson. I think Jameson is a slight better, a little bit better, but not way better. So the answer really would be to buy both. I'll say just buy both, try them both, because I don't think you're going to go wrong either way. Either way, you're going to win. You win with this one, and you win with this one. They're both very nice. Jameson, you got people on the internet talking trash about Jameson. That's garbage. Nobody drinks that. Nobody drinks that. Real whiskey drinkers know better. I'm like, really? Nobody drinks that? Oh, okay. But how could it be the best-selling Irish whiskey in the world if nobody drinks it? Makes you wonder, right? Okay. Did you get to say hello, Governor? No, but I did ask people for directions to the palace, Buckingham Palace, because I got turned around. I was lost. And you can't trust these, you do these internet maps. They'll give you the wrong directions. We were in New York City one time, and on the smartphone, it said, go over this bridge. I said, James, why would I go over the bridge? We just came off the bridge from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Why would I go over the bridge? It's going to take me back to Manhattan. He said, well, that's what it says. I said, well, I ain't paying attention to it. And I went and I saw Broome Street. I went over. There was the tunnel. I said, there's the Holland Tunnel. There's a sign, Holland Tunnel. I said, ain't no way I'm going back to Brooklyn to get to New Jersey. I don't think so. But I did go to the Buckingham Palace, and I saw this huge, huge building, but it was all closed up. Lights were off. It was nighttime. It's an office building. The people are not there at night. Drink is a drink. Laughing out loud. People bashing Jameson or Twisted. Yeah, I don't see how you could talk bad about Jameson. I cannot imagine that. Wonder what's more known around the world from Ireland, Jameson or Guinness? They're probably equal, right? Because you got your whiskey people and you got your beer people. They're probably equal. Yeah, they're both fabulous. Brian Carpenter says less hangover with Jameson. Okay. Herbie in India says 3:40 a.m. in India. Well, Herbie, get ready because it looks like the United States are going to rejoin the Commonwealth and we'll be part of your association. We're rejoining the family, man. Oh, well, let bygones be bygones. May as well reunite the family. He said, I know what Trump's trying to do. He's trying to create a super empire. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Welcome, India, says John Mallory. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. And you were watching Mad Max guitar cover. Love wins. Yeah, evening, Ron, Joe Hill. Well, hello, Joe, and y'all take care. So the winner, I say the winner, but not by much, by a little tiny bit, is Jameson, the old classic. No knock against Proper 12. If you see it, and chances are you will see it if you've ever been to a liquor store in your life. Does that mean the King of England would be the head of state in the United States? No. No, because like Trump said, an associate member. So he would be the head of the Commonwealth, of which the U.S. would be a member. They would have to recognize him as the head of the Commonwealth. Like if you joined a swim club and you say, well, that guy's the president of the swim club, you would recognize he's the president of the swim club. But Trump would still be the president. So it would be, like you said, an associate member, but not under the king anymore. Yet. You say, yet. All right. I got to get my British flags out just in case, make sure I'm in the right position. Keep the channel going. All right. Just kidding. Fandango Friday coming up. No, I think till after Easter. We're not going to see any Fandango Friday till after Easter time because it's too much going on right now. But fish fries and everything. They're having the fish fry right now. All right. So anyway, but yes, after Easter Sunday, I think we'll be back to Fandango Friday. Yes. Okay. Well, y'all take care now and have a good weekend. God bless everybody. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.